So I just want to make a quick little video. I was over on Iron Horse's channel, just chewing the fat with them or whatnot. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna bring the saws down here, and we're gonna run them. And we'll see. There seems to be this misconception that you got to have a degree wheel. Can't do it without a degree wheel. Well, you know what? Just get that idea right out of your head, because you're wrong. Okay? And I'll give you living proof that you can run yourself that you're wrong. Okay? The guy, Iron Horse, makes a video yesterday where he's showing, he's chamfering the piston. He's cleaning this up, cleaning up inside here, grinding it. I mean, this 064 piston, you really don't need to. Chamfering around here, taking the flashing out of here and stuff. And what is that going to do? Well, it's going to make the saw run better. But what the hell has that got to do with a timing wheel? What does doing that have to do with a timing wheel? Cock. Now, this is a Hot Woods boarded 064. This will make a run down to Canisteo, New York, and we'll clean house. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. I've got a intake on here. One of my velocity stacks here. On there. That's affixed to the carburetor. A K&N filter with an outer wear. And then I got my tune tube exhaust. And it's Hot Woods ported. Now, when you get into the porting, all I see on these channels now are all these guys, they're showing they're out there grinding this and that. Well, I'm not impressed with that. I mean, look at. Let's say a guy like, Buck and Billy Ray. He sends me a McCulloch. Now, I'm a steel guy. I've never worked on a McCulloch. I've run them. They're nice saws, heavy. Back in the day, they were probably the best. But he sends me a saw, just for instance. And he says, Fade, put the boots to this thing. Well, am I going to go in there with a degree wheel and then start grinding to numbers? What does that mean? I mean, you make the piston flow. You make the cylinder flow. Now, you can't see on camera, but there's a lot of flash in here. There's a lot of little things that you can do to make this air flow. But without this, getting the air in, and without this, letting the air out, you can pour it till the cows come home. It's really not going to... I mean, if you took, say this 660 or this 462... Okay, if I was to port this cylinder and put it on with the stock intake and the stock exhaust, what's it going to do? Probably not much. Probably not much at all. I mean, you could probably ask Dyno Joe. He could probably do that. He's got the dyno, but I'm just telling you from seat of the pants, probably not going to do nothing. You have to get the air into the motor. Now, you take this saw here, one that I just built up. Okay, I got a little different configuration on here. I've got a unifilter on this one because on these 044s, unlike the 064, the way it comes out, you're going to hit the handle. The 064 is the handle's down a little bit lower and there's enough clearance. No big deal. Okay, same idea. Custom intake, filter, some carb mods. This one's got a dual port muffler, but this cylinder ain't even ported. And I mean, this thing, it runs pretty damn good. Okay? So, what are you gonna, why are you so focused on showing me your grinding? I mean, I don't get it. This thing is a musical instrument. Basically, and you can hear it. You ever watch Buck and Billy Ray? You hear it when he hit. You can hear the snap. You can hear the sound of it. That's how you know it's good. Just like if you're picking a guitar, you hit a sour note. Well, that's off. Same idea. This intake, fuel, and air into the cylinder, and then out the exhaust. Everything has to be tuned. It has to be balanced for this thing to run right. You go in here and you start grinding away, and slap it on there. You're throwing darts. Now, I made a video yesterday with the port maps here, trying to get people to think. And, well, Fabe, what do you do with this? You can measure all this stuff. You can figure, there's formulas out there that'll tell you the velocity, because when you build a saw, if you're doing it caveman style, what are you going to do the first thing you're going to do? Like, say, Buck and Billy Ray's saw. What am I going to do the first thing with this McCulloch? I'm going to work on the exhaust. This style exhaust, tube exhaust. I'm going to try 5, 10, 15 exhausts until I get the best one, before I do anything, and have the wood to do it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the intake. What can I do with this? How can I improve this? And try a bunch of different things. Okay? The last thing I'm going to do is go in here and grind the cylinder. That's going to be the last thing. This saw right here has got a stock cylinder. It's got a K&S cylinder, and they flow pretty nice. Now, can it be improved? Yes. But it all depends what cylinder you're working with. Now, these guys that are working with these Chinese, Highway, all this other stuff, now, I've been inside their product. I wouldn't use it, personally. If a guy came to me and said, I don't have enough money, I would tell him I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't build it for him. You want to rebuild one of these, use your OEM piston, OEM cylinder, crank, all that stuff.